you're interested and you like what you see. But enough of that. We are jumping straight into the next game. We were so captivated by that reveal. We were barely able to hype this one up. We got Introvert Taher in the lobby.
Yes, going up against, I'm gonna say C0-MR, or maybe it's C0-MR. We'll figure it out. But I mean, either way, getting things started here, a lot of aggression. I mean, we got Rocket Lance for days.
We got Rocket Lance for days. We're getting D-Lights thrown out left and right so far. Introverts here, of course. I want to say, at this point, basically like a semi-OG player in EU, right? Been playing for a super long time, does have a lot of placements under his belt, and yet again, so fun to see these players have been playing in EU for so long, finally able to play on their home turf. I want to see what Taher is capable of, but it looks like C0-MR is making him fight for his life right now.
Okay. Ooh, and that's that new Vector down sig that did graduate from the experimental changes, shooting out this couple of blasts, about 4 bullets. So go ahead and let people know what's up. And it's cool. I like seeing it. I like seeing, you know, Legends get these updates, and clearly Taher trying to go ahead and show what that's all about. Probably another down sig or a recovery coming out to go ahead and close this stock is my guess, but C0-MR making it a little bit more difficult than that. That's gonna be a double D-Light into the recovery, maybe a chase. Follow Taher on the way down, no swing though, and Taher still can't find the stock.
Dude, C0-MR, not only does he find just slightly more wins in the neutral engagements, he always finds that high damaging punish options, able to get these double D-Lights, massive follow-ups with extensions, and look at that Flambo, it's another sword. The prophecy holds true so far.
Okay, yeah, no, clearly they understand the way of the blade. They've been studying it for a little bit of some time now. Great proficiency, if you will, in the style of the Hiten Mitsurugi, so they definitely are ready to go.
Okay, he's able to do it the second time. He's able to get it the second time. Dude, I've been playing, I have more than 3,000 hours in Brawlhalla. I still don't understand why sometimes my D-Light recoveries on a sword drop. I'm sure there's a reason for it. I'm not able to tell. I felt so much pain watching C0-MR not be able to string that together. Got it on the second time though. That would have been so unfortunate if not.
Yeah, and usually D-Light recovery is the one where you don't even think about it, right? Like, you're not even really trying to time it. You just kind of press recovery and then you try to drift into them. But depending on where it picks up, sometimes you do have to maneuver a little bit. And so C0-MR was struggling a little bit there. Introvert Taher was able to bring things back relatively quickly, though. Got a side air KO on the last stock relatively early that brought things back to even. But C0-MR back on this spear, trying to get extra damage. Taher trying to, oh man, double into the Sayer was almost enough to KO right there. Another
the last one, and there it is.
No weapon.
It's over. It's, yeah, that's still the stock. This C0-MR does not miss D-Lights on spear. How many did he hit in that game? I would like to know, but I don't think we have a D-Light counter. We might need to keep track of that next game, Flambo. Introvert Taher is not allowed to jump.
Yeah, no, that was rough. Even on some of the dodges in would get caught with the D-Light as well, would have to suffer too. Definitely not something that Taher was expecting. We actually do get a legend swap over from the Vector to the Scarlet, which I can't actually remember the last time I saw Scarlet at this point in bracket, right? I feel like if there's been a Rocket Lance legend as of late, it's usually been Orion or Ulgrim. But Scarlet, especially with how unpopular Hammer was for a while in the meta last year, it has largely been unseen.
Yeah, Hammer definitely getting pretty large resurgence, I want to see, in all the regions as of late. And I mean, I know we haven't been seeing that much Hammer gameplays from Taher yet, but I mean, what is going on? That's basically a clean stock. Look at Taher's HP. That's like a sidelight on unarmed.
And that's Rocket Lance for you, right? It'll carry you to the corner of the screen. Oh, got red on the jump there. Ooh, good dodge in though.
If he got that sideline, it could have been over just right there. Taher, he keeps finding these follow-ups. Even when C0-MR is able to find these dodges out of them, Taher is able to pick up an attack right after.
Oh man, you
Oh,
can't
my
dodge
lord.
in on Scarlet. That down sig will be waiting for you. Oh, the read on the cross through with the neutral sig. C0-MR is just getting completely red on the jumps. Do I stay grounded? Do I jump? If I jump, I risk getting hit by the side air. If I stay grounded, they might dash side light and get a guaranteed combo on me. It's so hard to know what to do, but generally, the answer is stay grounded. Generally. But sometimes, if you're not keen enough, you'll get caught in that scenario.
Hey,
Oh,
if someone just lost a ranked game or a set to lands, 99% of the time they'll end it by saying, "Why did I jump?"
Yeah.
Like you do gotta have to play kind of grounded against lands. But that's the thing about lands. Is there any area of the map where lands isn't strong?
You know, most people would argue if you are right below Lance, you know, like perfectly lined up below Lance, just because all it really has is ground pound to cover that, and a lot of the times you can stuff that out really easily. It has a lot of stuff. Outside of that, I mean, that Nair has amazing coverage. It's really hard to find your way around. I mean, C0-MR barely getting back to the stage there using exhausted recovery, manages to get a catch on, I think, a dodge off of that side light, but it doesn't matter. I mean, Taher completely smoking C0-MR in that game too.
2 minutes and 6 seconds. Taher absolutely turning up, making this look like an experimental lobby right now. C0-MR is gonna have to try and bounce back, and it looks like he's going to be doing so with the swap over to Mirage. Yet another Scythe legend coming out today.
Okay, interesting. So we're getting a bit of a swap there. I mean, even taking a peek, right? Like, this has been quite the set so far. I'm curious how the Mirage pick's gonna go. We have seen like Sandstorm, for example, I think is the most notable, really go far with this character.
Shadra.
Shadra as well.
Not as far, but you know there are these players that do play. Mirage definitely has a dedicated following.
Maybe this is it. Maybe this is what we need. Maybe this is the difference. Put a little sand on it. You know, we did see the spear do amazingly, and so really you're swapping the sword for the scythe here. And so far, the scythe already looks to be doing decently.
Yeah, absolutely. I do want to say, you mentioned last game, you're quite strong against lands whenever you're directly below them. I do wonder if C0-MR has an axe, because axe is super strong against lands. But seeing this legend swap over to the Mirage, potentially favoring the Scythe in those scenarios instead, does kind of make sense. I mean, Taher, at least in the first stock, took C0-MR really far out with that lance. If you have Scythe, I mean, you can't really afford that to the same extent, because he can just nair you.
Yeah, right? Like, it's that simple. And I'm kind of wondering the same, right? Because you're right. Like, Axe has been historically throughout all of Brawlhalla Esports just kind of the, I don't know, I'm losing the Lance, what do I pick? Usually the answer is Axe, but in the same vein, Lance players have learned how to play around it and just play the matchup better overall. But I don't know. It's not looking great for C0-MR right now. Throwing out that side sig, even if it had connected, not enough damage on Taher for it to be at any risk of KOing. Gonna struggle to get this weapon, gets caught on the jump, hit by the recovery, and now the weapon's been taken away, and C0-MR is hungry and also without a stock.
Pick up that stock. Basically a full stock lead going into what is the game point for C0-MR. He's gonna have to try and stick to this stock as well as he can. But he's going off stage immediately, able to get back up with a pretty clean Sair though. And here it starts. It begins Flambeau. Oh, he's getting back up though. He's been getting back up consistently from these from now on.
Okay, tries to go for the side sig again, and that was worth it because had it connected, that sig hit extremely hard. That would have been the stock almost for certain. Neutral sig not gonna have enough juice. C0-MR just looking for it, but are you gonna keep mashing the sig button, or are you gonna have to be a little bit more tricky? There's an end light. I like the pogo here as well. I'm surprised we haven't seen the down sig. There we go, we get a ground
there it
pound.
is.
That's gonna be enough. Okay, and Mirage doesn't have a whole lot of defense, but light orange should be enough for you to take at least 1 or 2 hits as long as you're not getting sigged by Scarlet.
Ooh. Okay. That's
We
big.
back.
That's a big start, and the Edison G seed as well. Such a smart option.
Whoa.
Taher now. Oh, but he's aggressive with it. He's able to find that Sair. Is he looking for something?
Down to people get sent launching off of the stage. They will mash their recovery first because they want to get as much height as they can and not get punished for it, right? The closer you are to the stage, if you do your recovery, the more likely you're going to get punished for it because there's some end lag on those moves. But you got caught by the immediate weapon throw, and that's kind of the risk that you play. Sometimes people do dodge first immediately so that they can have their dodge back again by the time they get to the stage. But this time, that was not the option that was picked for, though it probably would have gone through the weapon throw.
Against Welfa, where he went down 1 and 3, which Welfa is actually a player that managed to get into top 8 on winner's side, and we're going to be seeing him later as well. But we're going into this next game. It is going to be match point for Introvert Taher.
And this is like interesting to see as well. Oh, Taher almost got a clean one right there because C0-MR, I'm looking at the stats here and all I see was some Mordex here from the Summer Championships in EU in 2022. That's the only stat I see here for C0-MR, right? And so clearly got 129th place in that tournament, able to make it all the way to top 8 in this one, roughly, you know, a year and a half later. But this could potentially be the end of the run as Taher already has gotten the first stock, is looking to rack on extra damage. These D-lights just keep catching C0-MR, man.
Yeah, and he's able to follow up with that Sarah as well. C0-MR having a hard time navigating around this land, the same land as that. I mean, he was doing so very well against in the very first game of the set, able to find so many of the D-lights. Taher not falling for them this time around. Oh, that was dude. I swear, my heart.
To catch the unarmed down sig, the break dance, the flare, coming out and securing that first stock. Hopefully not a little too late. We did see in that last game that C0-MR was able to get those strings together and really bring the damage. And so I'm hoping maybe we can get some of that recreated. But a bit of a gutsy return to stage gets punished by Taher with a side air.
For any kind of option here, throwing out Sears kind of left and right, hoping that C0-MR is going to end up inside one of them. He's having a hard time finding the punishes. Finally able to get that side there in. So small, but just as quickly, Taher gets back on stage and throws out the second one. This time around, that's going to be the knockout, sticking to the lands still. A dedicated follower of the lands.
Double and like C0-MR gonna have the scythe, gets the pickup and the conversion all in one swift motion, but needs a little bit more. Whiffs the punish on that as well. You're not allowed to whiff at this point. You're too far behind. The hits need to connect, and Taher is just going blow for blow with the stock lead. You cannot have that happen if you're C0-MR right now, but is struggling to not get tagged. There it is, some more down sigs. Maybe another one in the near future. Beautiful dodge on the second hit of side light.
Oh, and that was so close, but the side signature is going to be able to close it out either way. C0-MR has a fighting chance here, but Taher, he's been looking so strong all throughout the set. I don't know if I have faith, Flymo.
Yeah, especially if you don't take that weapon out of play. Now Taher can just start throwing out that down sig is a very popular one, end sig as well. But it's clear Taher doesn't look as comfortable on the hammer, but it doesn't matter because so much damage has been racked up. Mashes down air out of hit stun, and that's just going to be the game. And not only is it the game, it's going to be the set.
It is going to be the set indeed. C0-MR is going to be completely knocked out of the tournament with that one, and Introvert Taher will be advancing.